Whoa, okay. Woo, man, even on single block, that could be a little scary. All right, let's check that out. Okay, so this is a pretty close and tight setup. As you can see, I have my end mill here. It went ahead and orientated the jaws. It's sticking up right in between those tool holders, and I have a really small diameter here holding my part on. I'm gonna go ahead and end mill a pretty decent sized hole in this part. Pretty excited because today I get to show you a lathe, and for all of my machining career, that's been the name of my game. Whether it's a 2-axis, multi-axis, 1 spindle or 2, 1 turret or 2, turning has been what I've done. All right, now this lathe behind me is one of 2 different tongue tie lathes that we received, and I gotta say, this is the bigger girl right here. Now, not to say anything about the smaller one over there, but she's just a little bit less capable. You got 1 turret, 1 spindle, no Y-axis. Here you got 1 turret, 2 spindles, and a Y-axis to get after it with. So she's got a lot more power, more capability. So let's turn around, let's check this part out and see what she can do. All right, so here we are in the machine. I've went over the program, so I'm pretty familiar with what we're doing. We got a standard face pass and no deturn, which is actually kind of the most exciting because the chips come off and you get to see that shape of the part take form. Let's go ahead and get to it. Got some nice smooth cutting action. Got a little bit of spindle load here, probably around 35%, which in all honesty isn't too surprising. So we got an 8-inch chuck on the left, 8-inch chuck on the right. Now your main spindle right here, we max out probably around 217 foot-pounds of torque, so she's got plenty of power to take some pretty big cut. Now on the sub, you're a little bit smaller, really around 35 pounds torque, so you're gonna wanna keep that in mind. This is built for your heavy work on the left side. You'll do your light finish work on the right side. So we're gonna go ahead and we're putting some threads on the part. It looks like we have 1 threaded surface down below a little bit and 1 at the front of the part. Nice smooth action, fine thread. As you can see here on our panel, we got a nice big 15-inch display to view everything that's going on. Again, sounds really clean. Nice little blue thread chip coming up. So now we're gonna go ahead and do an OD finish. Gonna finish from the back going to the front of the part, which actually I do like doing as well sometimes too. It makes for some better chip control sometimes. But instead of basically pushing that chip into your raw stock, it kind of pulls it off towards the front. All right, so we just finished the OD here. Now we do have a 12-station turret on here, BNT65, right? So the turret is nice and robust. That big connection gives you the chance to put in some heavy-duty tools here to really kind of make some big chips and get after the cut. Next up, we'll run our insert drill and put a hole in it. All right, so we got a little insert drill in here, not going that deep, so it should be pretty quick in and out.
All right, so let me introduce you guys to tongue tie today. This thing is amazing. Big lathe, rigid lathe, accurate lathe. These guys have been making machine tools for over 55 years. I have a customer up in Northern California that has one of these running at 24/7. Medical and aerospace parts on an automated setup. This thing is incredible. So if you ever need any information on a live tool, sub-spindle, Y-axis lathe, reach out, Keith at titansofcnc.com, or go to our website, titansofcnc.com, and take a look.
All right, same thing, quick ID turn, little rough, little finish, a little bit of a stringy chip, but you're gonna get that with a light cut sometimes. Bam, done. All right, we got an ID thread. Looks like the same fine thread, really quick. So here we have the second part of our roughing operation. All right, so this is gonna be the back side of our part. Here's where everything really begins to take shape. This is kind of a cool op. Not gonna lie, it's really hard to ask for too much cleaner machining. You could probably improve the depth of cut if you want a little bit, but it's breaking a good chip. Sounds nice and clean. You can hear the chips hitting. And for all my lathe operators out there, machinists, man, you love the sound of chips hitting the glass. Because what does that mean? No strings. Now the spindle load looks good. We're floating here around the 30%. Now she can take a much heavier cut. That left spindle, we're working with about a max torque of 217 foot-pounds. So you can definitely get in there and take a heavier cut if you like. Now, just to note, the sub-spindle, a little bit lighter, you're only working with about 35 foot-pounds. So this machine really is designed to do a lot of your heavy work over here on the left side, and then you do your lighter finishing work over there on the right side. All right, this is kind of the unique part of this machining process. In this part, I'm gonna go ahead and machine this down to the tip of this cone right here, leaving a pretty small connection to the main bar. Woo! All right, there she is. She's not hanging on by a lot, but she's hanging on. We're gonna go ahead and cut a little flat here. You can hear it's vibrating a little bit. Now that part has the smallest of connection to the bar stock down there, along with being a pretty small end mill is the reason you hear that vibration, but in all honesty, that was a full depth. Let's see, yeah, it did the slot in one pass. So a little bit chattery, but for the feature, probably good enough. And in all honesty, like I say, looking at that connection, that's still pretty good. Okay, all right. Whoa, okay. Woo, man, even on single block, that can be a little scary. All right, let's check that out. Okay, so this is a pretty close and tight setup. As you can see, I have my end mill here. It went ahead and orientated the jaws. It's sticking up right in between those tool holders, and I have a really small diameter here holding my part on. I'm gonna go ahead and end mill a pretty decent sized hole in this part. So it seems like this may not be very rigid. I'm assuming they probably have a slow ramp down. And one might wonder why you didn't do that before we took all this material off and we had a more robust, rigid grab. I'm assuming it's because we didn't want to make an interrupted cut right here. So sometimes, you know, you don't always program a part, and you may come in during a night shift or something, and you just have to trust your programmer and the people who ran the parts before you. So that's where we are, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hit the green button. Let's see what happens. Okay, so again, we have that small connection, so you can hear a little bit of that vibration going on. Looks like we're gonna cut a little flat here before we end mill our pocket. All right, so here we go. We're gonna interpolate down into that pocket, see if that little connection holds up. Okay, all right. A lot of trust going on with them jaws back there, but she's machining good. Man, load looks good. We got a 26%. Now I will say the live tools on here are pretty impressive. We got a 6,000 RPM, and I want to say just about 53, 54 maximum foot-pounds of torque on that live tool, which is pretty darn good for a live tool. And it shows, man, 28%, man, she's running clean. We are gonna use up every bit of that flute length. And you can't see that part smoking, it's getting hot. Go, there's the bottom. Finishing the wall. We'll finish. Bam, nice. Woo! See the smoke? It's hot. Final operation for this side, we had the part off, so we do have some custom machine jaws on the right hand side. They'll come by and grab it. We'll part that off, take it down to the sub, and see what we got. Now I did notice there wasn't any jaw cleaning operation, and if you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna run this as kind of a walk away kind of thing, you're gonna want something to come in, some sort of flush, whether air or coolant for them jaws. We'll feed in, stop, gonna grab. Alright. So we're just gonna part off. There's a couple different strategies that one can use. Sometimes you can grab your material and you can pull it out at that moment and then part it off. Or you can part it off and come back later to pull out the material, whether with the machine or manually. This program looks like it's gonna do the ladder. All right, so same thing here. We got a reverse OD pass, which again, I do like for a lot of reasons. Oh, okay. Man, don't ever do that. That is not nice. All right, we went ahead and we drilled and tapped the front of that part. Easy peasy, no big deal. Now we're gonna go ahead and go through the part catch option, which is obviously gonna be critical if you're kind of wanting to run this machine off from the side and let it do its thing. All right, part catcher up. Gonna open the jaws. Boop, little parts catcher comes out. Conveyor's gonna move it along. All right, so this is pretty cool. They've written a macro to come down and either do brake detection, where there's a certain allowance for how much that tool can wear and it might go ahead and stop the program, or they're simply retouching their tools off to account for wear. But either way, this is really kind of a pivotal process that you can use when you're trying to run basically hands-free manufacturing if you want to step away or do lights out. All right, and the final thing we got to run, we got to pull out more material, right? So you got to come down, because obviously we ran that material, so we got to come down. We're going to use our B axis and our jaws right here. We'll come in, we'll pull out material for another part, and that cycle just goes over and over and over again. All right, we have now ended right where we began. So that wraps up basically kind of our overview of the Tong Tai machine right here, man. Really cool machine, really capable. I'm kind of looking forward to getting in here and running her a little bit more, taking on some more complex jobs. Hope you enjoyed that. If there's anything you'd like to see us run on this machine right here, let us know in the comments below. And please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see y'all next time.